That's the preview. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. It's Christmas time. Waiting as everyone gets on. It's late. It's 11 o'clock. I hope you all are wrapping those gifts, getting those cakes ready. If you're making some red velvet, send it to North Carolina. I would love it. I love some red velvet cake. But I know that everyone is getting ready for Christmas. A lot of you are probably traveling. I'm not going to be on here long at all. I just want to just give you a little bit of encouragement again. I'm Shannon Battle. I am one of the moderators in the Marriage Club, and I've been reading you all's posts. I looked at how many of you all looked at the Sunny's Challenge? We'll talk about that one because there's a good challenge for day 11. I was like, I looked at it just a few moments ago. I was like, whoa, for it to be 11 o'clock at night, I got to do a lot to make it happen. Because day 11, we're supposed to make it sexy and spice it up. That's what the Sunny said to do. Okay, I got to get sexy tonight. Okay, let's see how that rolls. All right, but I'm gonna do it because I think the challenges are fun. I don't know if you all have been doing it, but it's just fun. I just laugh at myself because sometimes you forget to do certain things, and it's good to have people that remind you that, yeah, it's okay to be sexy with your spouse. It's okay to send a text message. So like even when you're doing like the text message, ladies, what I recommend, when you send a text to your husband, only thing you need to do when you take the text message, take a picture of yourself, but go in the bathroom, right? I don't have my phone with me. Go in the bathroom, prop your leg up on the vanity in the bathroom and snap it and send it to him. I think that is he'll love it. Trust. He will love it. Men are visual, so you remember, you got to visually stimulate him. And then another recommendation with the text messages and the pictures, send it to his phone. Make sure that you're the last text if possible at night, and make sure that you set your timer to send the text to be his first text first thing in the morning. So when he wakes up, then guess what? He's seeing you. So yeah, that's good Christian orderly type conduct type stuff. So yeah, so you're sexy. Ladies, get your sexy on. Men, y'all can get sexy too for your ladies. This is not just for the women. Y'all can get sexy. I don't know what she likes, and if it's been a long time, ask her. I'm like, baby, what would make it sexy for you? How can we get this sexy thing going on? And y'all just have fun. That can be a Christmas gift. So y'all broke, give that to each other. I think you'll remember that and love it a lot better than the gift you're going to toss in the corner probably. But the Callicuts, they're just such a sweet couple. I looked at them. They just look cute. They wished everybody a Merry Christmas. The Lewises they just welcomed twins. The Wells, they're pregnant with number 4. The Cabbies, I think that's how they say it. They say that they work with their spouse, and they wanted to know about others that work with their spouses. You all are great. You guys are awesome in this group. You're so encouraging. Some of you, though, y'all are brutal. Gosh, I say that all the time. You guys, y'all go hard. And then I look at some of and I can't comment on everything. I'm like, gosh, I hope people really don't take some of these things to heart. I always say anything like this, when you're in such an open group, you eat the meat and spit the bones. There's some things, if it doesn't resonate with your spirit, then just, it doesn't matter. It's just, it wasn't for you anyways. Michael Coven, can you repost it? I will. I didn't do the challenges, but I'll let the Sunnies know to repost all the challenges. So that means you're going to have to catch up, Mr. Michael. That means you're going to have to do all 12 in like 2 days. You're going to have to overwhelm her with gratitude and love. So I'll make sure. And I'm going to follow up too. Remember, write your name down to see if you did all 12 of them. Yeah. And the 2 shares says sexy equals intimacy, which into me you see. Hey, I like that. Into me you see. Okay. That's good stuff. You guys are so awesome. If I missed some of the comments, y'all just help me and repeat them. If I could bring somebody on, that would be easy, so y'all could read some of the comments to help me out. But anyways, I just wanted to talk really quick, just how to win arguments with your spouse. A lot of people, when I did the conversation last week, there were still questions. How do you communicate with someone who doesn't talk back? How do you communicate with someone that doesn't listen, and those type of things. You have to remember that communication is variable. Even though people may not say things directly, even if they're like kind of like standoffish, they're pushed back, they're ignoring, that's still a form of communication in some type of way, because they're blocking. They're not allowing you to intrude. They're hearing everything that you're saying, but they are either afraid of what their response is going to be, or they don't know how to respond to you. So oftentimes you're going to get people that ignore, and they think that that's a better, more appropriate way to deal with the conversation, because they don't know how to give you what it is that you need in the conversation. So if you're gonna win, you have to know that when you're dealing with a problem, the problem isn't the spouse. So this is what I want you to have, this visual, when you're arguing, right? Or when you're in a disagreement. Say you're in an argument, women, with your husband, and he's come home, or he's not coming home on time, and you got some suspicions going on about whatever it is he's doing, or he's neglecting the money, or he's not making enough money, or whatever the case may be. And it's something that's always causing an argument. Well, it's a problem, because every time he gets home, you're ready. It's like, you're ready to engage in a conflict with him. You're ready, even if it's like a subtle criticism, you'll be like, oh, you just getting home? Oh, you didn't check the bills today, or something like that. So, you're trying to set something off. But you have to remember that if you're going to effectively deal with the problem, you have to deal with the problem and separate it from him. So when you're dealing with, say it's a financial issue, you don't want him to be the problem. You want the financial issue to be the problem. So if you're going to deal with the financial issue, then deal with the financial issue. So it should be 3 people when you're having a conversation to deal with any type of conflict, when you're trying to get results, unless you just want to stay engaged in the conflict and you just want to be miserable for God knows how long. You should just go ahead and just find a way to sit the problem in a chair. So if you all, even kind of like illustrate it, find a place where you all can safely have a discussion. And I wouldn't do it in the bedroom, because then somebody might not sleep in the bed that night, and couch isn't too comfortable. And it doesn't feel good to go to bed mad, because you don't even fall asleep. You're just up, angry, acting like you sleep, and that's just not fun. So take a chair. And so wherever you all go to talk, and put the problem in a chair. Say, honey, you know what? We're having this issue. And, I've been having this issue about how our finances are going. How, we're always behind, or we're always late, and, we're not able to, see our money. It's always like sipping through our hands. And I want to be able to deal with this situation, but I don't know how to approach it. So how, what is it? How do you think we should deal with this? And then that way you're not attacking him saying, you always spending the money, or you didn't check, you didn't check the account. You're not casting blame to him. And so you're not adding more weight to his shoulders. And this conversation is reciprocal, because y'all women, y'all give it back to me and always be like, why I always got to be the woman, why I can't never be the man. I just speak because I'm a woman, and these are some of the things that I'm sharing with you. I go through, I've gone through a lot of the stuff I'm talking about myself. So, even as a therapist, I'm just talking from, like, I'm not talking as a therapist right now, but it's just an integrative approach. But I just want you all to understand, if you want to effectively win in these conversations, deal with the problem. Just take the problem and like sit it next to you. Like if it was you and your spouse talking to your child about an issue, right? So you got that third party there. So you want to be able to have like that situation seated in the chair, so you both can deal with it. And then if you don't get any resolve at that moment, it can still be there. And then you all can still connect, and he can be into you see what was it, intimacy, into me you see. Then you all can do that. You can move on to whatever's next, because some things that you go through, you're not going to resolve overnight. You're not going to resolve within a week. It's just going to take some time, but you want to be able to put it places where you can go back to it. And oftentimes too, you want to look at what state of mind you're in when you're dealing with the situation. You want to look at, okay, am I in my emotions right now? Because if you all are in your emotions, you're amped up, you're aroused, you're highly stressed, you already know how that situation is going to go. You know how it's going to turn out. So you want to make sure that you can regulate your emotions before you jump into a situation. I know you feel like, because you're feeling it, you need to go ahead and just dive into it, but allow yourself time to calm down, because when you're in an emotional state of mind, when you're highly aroused, you're not going to make the right decision when it comes to talking with that person, talking with your spouse. And then once you put it out there, you can't take it back. You can't, you can apologize for it, but you can't take it. You can't erase it out of their memory. And so even when you try to move forward from that, they're going to have to find another healing process for words that you spoke when you just we should have been quiet, because your emotions just were out of whack. And then another time too that you want to be careful is people that may not be so emotionally driven, but they're always thinking. It's that type of person that when they come in, it's like, okay, you're preparing yourself for an argument when the person comes in, or you're preparing yourself for how this person is going to respond to you. But in your mind, you're like, you know what, I'm going to lay low on this one. I'm not going to say anything, because I know if I say something, it's just going to trigger an argument. And you think you're being wise with it. But what's happening is that person is coming to you and they have a need to go ahead and discuss what's been going on. But then you passively aggressively try to control the situation. And when you do that, you shut them down. And when you shut them down, then that just creates another situation where, they're like, okay, well, now you're disrespecting and now you're not communicating. And then, so everybody's just trying to have control, but everybody's losing. So at the end of the day, you just want to be able to ask yourself, okay, what can I do to win in this conversation? Someone said silence is a form of communication. Yes, silence is a form of communication, but that's deadly communication. I would rather have couples come into my office arguing, saying that they're always arguing, than couples who say that they're always silent. Because when you're silent and you're not saying anything, a lot of times people have vacated. And if you vacated, it's hard to bring those type of relationships back together. So if you're getting to the point where it doesn't even matter anymore and you're not even saying anything and you're just like, whatever, be careful for that type of position. It's not a safe space. It's like I did this activity in a group that I did with some kids, and we had 3 different bottles. And one of the bottles I filled it up with, it was just pure seltzer. So when they shook the bottle, you know what happens if you just shake like a soda bottle or something like that. And then another bottle, it was just water. And then another bottle I diluted it with seltzer and water. So I was just giving an illustration to show them that even though you may be that bottle that's just flat, the water bottle, and it opens, they were like, oh, that's good, because it didn't splurge all over the place like the other the seltzer bottle did. But what happens with that is, even though you're flat, what you do is you numb yourself. You don't feel anything anymore. And then when you don't feel anything anymore, it builds over time, and then you find yourself snapping and exploding over small little things that have no significance, and the person is just like, Dad, what happened? They're really stunned, and you throw everybody off, the kids, the dog, and everybody. They're like, whoa, what happened? Well, what happened was I never said anything. I did that thing called silent communication. And because I was silent, then, I just shut everything down, but I closed myself in. And when I close myself in, only thing I'm doing is I'm just fueling, I'm just adding. So when something does happen and then it tips off, then I'm out of control. And that's what's happening in a lot of marriages that are failing. You guys are just losing control. Nobody has any control over what they're saying, how they're feeling, how they're treating one another. So just be careful with that. Okay, I'll go with a couple more comments and then I'll close this out because I've already been talking too long. Felicia, what about when you're not together? Me and my husband just broke up a month ago. He has a new girlfriend. Now that I know about it, she told him in order for them to work, he has to divorce me and stop talking to me. Ever since that, I text, he either ignores me or just replies, okay, to keep that girl happy. But how can we talk about our 3 children with the rude ignorance? See, things like that, when those other women come into the picture, you got to realize, I don't know if you're a woman of God, but you have to know that the fervent, effectual prayers of a righteous person availeth much. So certain things like that, when he's already gone and he's in a relationship, you're going to have to learn to be okay with, you know, the fact that that journey may be going another place, you know, for you. You started your journey with them, but you may have to continue on without them. I'm not saying that's your situation, but what I am saying is don't stop praying. And anytime the enemy comes in like a flood, you know, God lifts the standard. So now that's that Christian part coming out of me too when it comes to marriage. I can't separate the two. But when you are dealing with situations like that, people, the other woman, that other person, they try to approach you, you know, to try to scare you. And that's just a tactic that the enemy does when you're doing something that's, you know, when you're in a position to where, you know, you have children involved, you all are building something together. You guys, you know, there's so many things connected to you, and you're a vital organ to other relationships around you. You know, then people come in, the other person comes in, and, you know, they come in and try to introduce all of this fear. They want you to be afraid that there's nothing that you can do, or, you know, whatever it is that's going on that is bigger than you. And, you know, never take down to that. Anytime the enemy comes at you like that, just get stronger. You're supposed to get stronger when he comes at you. And you get stronger in your prayer, you get stronger in your faith, because regardless of what happens, as long as you all are still married, you know, you be the woman of the person of integrity. You be that woman of honor. So if it was your daughter in that situation, how would you talk to her? How would you encourage her? How would you support her? People want to try to give you, you know, tell you that if you follow 1, 2, and 3, that's going to give you 4. That's not true, because I don't know your situation. Nobody, you know, I don't know his state of mind. I don't know other things that have influenced the course of what's going on in your relationship. But what I do say is just stay strong, stay your course, keep praying, keep praising, just, you know, trust God to do whatever it is that he's going to do in and through your life, that he's not going to leave you. He's not going to forsake you. You're going to be able to take care of your kids. You still going to be fine. You're not going to lose your mind. You know, there's still going to be people around here that support you, that love you. You're not going to fall into depression. You got to start speaking on those things, because now, you know, because when you start focusing on that person, you know, what she's doing, what they're doing, and all those other things, you begin to neglect yourself. So I could go on and on, but I'm gonna stop right there. Do I just let it all go and give things time? You don't let anything just go. Some things you just put on the shelf. You can only fix those things that you can. Whatever you can't fix, you shelve it and move on to the next. Okay, that's where I am. I don't look. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying names. I don't care. I don't even care anymore. Communication is the key. My husband shuts down and doesn't talk. It's like I'm talking to a wall. Well, guess what, sister? You're gonna have to figure out how to break through that wall. Because people, you know, they say, okay, they don't want to talk, but what is it that, you know, why does he feel like he can't respond to you? Sometimes, you know, it's not that, you know, that person, you know, something wrong with them. It may be our approach. So before you say that it's all him, go ahead and see, you know, what it is, you know, about you that's causing that wall to come up. And maybe it's not you, maybe it's things about his past. And then when you say something, it triggers the past, things that you don't know about, and it causes him to, you know, to push back, because maybe he's afraid of, you know, what may result if you all try to work through something, because he's never had healthy communication. So just, you know, ask him, you know, just say, you know, honey, you know, every time we, you know, when I talk with you, I feel like, you know, there's a distance between us. I feel like, you know, I'm not able to connect with you. Is there something, you know, what way can I approach you so I could get you to listen to me and we can talk and I could hear your heart? And then that way you're taking ownership for it as well. You're not just blaming him, saying that, you know, okay, well, you know, you just not listening, and, you know, that's why I can't talk to you, and then I ain't gonna say nothing, and then everybody just all mad, and then next thing y'all know, y'all over there trying to see a divorce attorney and then paying all that money to get a divorce when y'all could have just worked it out. Okay, would you mind if I inbox you? You can inbox, and I'll try to get back with you. Yeah, just go ahead. I only do inboxes on my computer though. I don't get it on my cell phone. So that's the only problem. So if it comes up, I won't see it on my phone, and I'm not always on the Facebook. 10 years and I'm still trying. He says it's best to not say anything. That's not true. All right. So you guys have a very Merry Christmas. I thank you for tuning in. If you're going to win, remember that separate the problem, whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you want to talk about, separate it from that person. So your wife is not that issue. You know, the issue is the issue. and put it in a chair. Okay. So if y'all got to practice this, it's be like, okay, I was in marriage club and they said, okay, this therapist said, said to go ahead and practice. Put a chair right there. And then, okay, the chair is the problem. And they're on a piece of paper, whatever problem you're going to talk about one problem at a time. Write it on that piece of paper, put it in the chair and be like, okay, we're going to deal with this problem here. And what are the solutions for it? And then you'll start seeing results. And then when you guys start seeing results, then you're going to find out that you can start talking about more things and that you have more in common than just coming at each other and hurting each other, because that's not what we want. We don't want to continue the cycle of hurt. We want to be able to love and uplift. And I just encourage you all, to do the love challenge today. Remember, don't forget the Sunny said that it's the sexy something, I just forgot. Sexy and spice it up. So now it's 11:20 at night and I gotta be sexy and spike it up for my man, because we got 24 years coming up in January. So I'm very excited and I want to keep it exciting. And it doesn't matter if he made me upset, if he just, got mad because I didn't cook, and then, I knew he was mad and I went ahead and cooked him something to eat anyways, and I brought him his tray and he just started smiling because I just did the right thing. I think that was sexy. But no, I just want to encourage you all, stay strong, stay in the faith, stay with people that support you, stay with people that love you. Don't forget that you're not alone. Reach out to people. Find people in this group. If you just moved to a new area, you don't know people, reach out to people. Start following them a little bit to see what they're all about, because some people, are messy. You don't want to be with messy couple type relationships, and just follow them and just be like, hey, can we just go ahead and, I got this idea, what do you think about this? And just, bounce off. Iron sharpens iron, okay? And if people are struggling right now, don't talk to those people because they in their feelings. Gotta be careful with those. But you guys enjoy the season. Remember, Jesus is the reason for the season. Thank you all for being a part of the Marriage Club, and I will see you next Sunday. All right. Bye-bye.